What's up, all you motorcycle enthusiasts, and welcome to the V-Twin Life here on YouTube. We talk motorcycles powered by those V-Twins, what fuels their passion, why you enjoy it so much. V-Twin Life is brought to you by these two great companies, Crash Inc. Clothing and Wild Ass Seats. Hey, you want to add some comfort to your ass when you're out riding, whether you're a 400-mile guy or maybe a guy that's pushing 1,000 plus, or female rider for that matter? Hey, check out wild-ass.com and add some comfort to your ass. Can't forget Crash Inc. Clothing, that Northwest brand out of the Pacific Northwest. Hey, these guys got a lot of great stuff, from t-shirts to hats, raincoats, you name it. Hey, they can get you covered. Check out crashinclothing.com. Now, let's dive into another milepost of the V-Twin Life. Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to another milepost of the V-Twin Life. We talk motorcycles powered by those V-Twins, what fuels a passion, and why the hell we enjoy all these so much. Guy's a cool guy. Actually, found him on Facebook. There was one of the local Harley groups up here in Washington when he was actually started putting up posts about the podcast as how it was, more of a enjoy the road type deal, and everybody started tagging me, and shoot, we started messaging back and forth, and it's like, well, shit, man, you got to come on and talk some stories. And he's got a beautiful freaking Road King, and so, hey, why not get Nate on and we'll talk some bikes. So yeah, thanks for coming on, Nate.
Hey, thanks for having me.
So yeah, so what are you riding?
It's a 2020 Road King. It's the 107 Milwaukee 8 engine. I didn't do the specials or anything like that because I'm just gonna end up changing everything on it anyway. So
smart move.
Yeah. I almost wish I didn't go with the white one though, because it's really tough to keep clean.
I can see that.
I think it's the same thing with the black, because all the little tiniest bit of dust. It's like, goddamn.
Yeah.
It just shows up, especially this time of year. You start getting the pollen. I remember, come April, May, pull the bike outside for 10 minutes, go in the house, grab a few things before I want to hit the road, and come out, and there's already yellow haze over it from all their pollen, and yeah, it's awesome.
Oh yeah.
So what got you into motorcycles? Where did it start?
Well, that depends on who you're talking to. So I would say, I didn't actually start getting on a Harley Davidson, riding on, the twisties like I like to do until 2017. But I've been on two wheels since I was 5.
Nice.
Yeah, my very first bicycle I got, we lived out in the country, and I didn't have any pavement or a smooth driveway or anything to ride on. And the main road out in front of my house was a 50-mile-an-hour highway, or 50-mile-an-hour road, and it had farmers up and down all day long. So I couldn't really ride out in the street. I had to have my dad take the training wheels off of my bike because I couldn't ride on the uneven ground. And from that very first time, I rode without training wheels, and I've just loved being on two wheels ever since. I went through growing up, I raced BMX, and I was really into, just racing. We would travel over to the west side of the mountains every weekend to hit up all the races in Sumner and SeaTac and even up in Everett. So I would say that's where it started, really, is just with bicycles. And my dad was always enamored with the Harley Davidson. So, just the biker, image has always just been kind of a cool thing to me. So
what was your first bike when it came to a motorcycle?
Well, my first motorcycle was a YZ250.
Yes.
So you start out on, I was riding out on dirt bikes, but then I ended up getting, my wife finally let me get a motorcycle that I could enjoy on the weekends and stuff. So I ended up getting a 2017 Sportster is my first Harley. And I rode that and quickly outgrew it. So that's when I hopped on the Road King.
Nice. And so I know you went to. So was last year your first trip to Sturgis, or have you done that more than once?
Yeah, no, last year was my first trip to Sturgis, and I rode on the 2 lanes kind of the whole way there. I think we probably did, at most like 200 miles on a freeway on the way out there.
That's a perfect way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Highways are overrated.
Yeah. Yeah.
Way
Well,
overrated.
in Montana, I-90, parts of I-90 are actually really beautiful in Montana. Like when you go over the Continental Divide and and kind of that area, it's pretty, but and I-90 on Snoqualmie Pass is even not too bad, but for the most part, it's long, flat, and straight, and that's just not that's not the kind of riding I really love to do.
That the couple parts of the Panhandle, Idaho, and I-90 aren't bad. Kind of you're up and down little canyons over some little hills. I won't call them mountains because, well, maybe for guys on the East Coast it'd be a mountain, but
Yeah.
I resemble that.
So what's one of your favorite areas that you enjoy riding? I mean, because it's kind of cool because you're only 2.5 hours or so from me. So I've explored. Both of us lived in Washington our whole life. I've had the fortune of riding a lot of places around here.
Yeah, I'd say my favorite Washington ride is over the North Cascades Highway.
Yeah.
It's probably my favorite one. Always love stopping up at Lake Diablo or Diablo Lake. I don't know if it exactly what it's called, but the overlook there, and you get to take a look at that turquoise water. It's amazing ride. And then stopping in Winthrop is really just neat. Even if all you do is walk up and down that side, the wooden sidewalk.
Yeah,
it's a neat ride.
It is. So, I mean, one corner you got the old Winthrop Emporium, and you got Three Finger Jacks on the other side, the bakery on the other side, and I can't remember what's on the other corner. But yeah, Winthrop's a cool little Western themed town.
Yeah, if you've never been to Winthrop and you think of Western towns and the sidewalks made out of built out of wood, if you took out the paving, you would think that you were out in the wild West, right? Like back in the 1800s, even, right? So it's a neat spot.
Yeah, that's where I went on my very first motorcycle trip I ever went on with my dad, and that's where we stayed the first night. Went up over North Cascades. We hit it, as soon as you turn on 20 down by Port Townsend, and then rode Highway 20 the whole way, all the way up to Winthrop.
Do you just go over and come back in the same day, or do you stay over in Eastern Washington?
No, we'd made like a 3 or 4 day trip. First night we stayed in Winthrop, and then we rode like out towards Grand Coulee City, down through Electric City and around Banks Lake, and headed down to Tri-Cities. Remember, I think we took one of the back highways, headed down towards Ephrata, and then stayed off the main highways as much as we could down to the Tri-Cities. Because we camped the first night, and then the second night we were staying in a hotel, and then we were camping the next night.
Nice.
What what work have you done? So I'm sorry, let me back up. So was your Road King your first Harley Davidson?
No, it was my first Harley was a Sportster.
Okay.
It was a 27 Sportster. It was I can't remember what it was. It was a gray one. I can't remember what they called it. But it was an Iron 883. I bought it used. It had an S&S 1200 upgraded conversion on it. And it was a fun little bike to ride around town, but I went and did Chinook Pass, Blewett Pass, and came back Snoqualmie, and I did that frequently on the Sportster. And I was always trying to keep up with my friend that's on, my buddies that are on road glides and street glides and Road Kings, and on the naked Sportster flying down the freeway, even at 60 miles an hour, there's a lot of buffeting, and you almost feel like, he can get blown off the freeway, or at least I don't know, coming east, like going through Thorpe or west, I'm sorry, headed west on I-90, going up through Thorpe and through that up into Cleellum, like that's a really windy area.
Yeah.
And so that's when I realized, like, I don't have enough bike to do what I want to do. So I traded in that Sportster within just a few, like, not long after having it, maybe a year and a half or something.
You hear a lot of those stories.
Well,
Yeah.
they're kind of, a good entry level bike, but then guys start riding them and they kind of figure, okay, it got me into it, but it's just isn't enough for me. And
yeah, well, and really it was like I said, I'd ridden motorcycles and stuff off road, right? But like, I actually didn't ever think I would end up riding a Harley when I was little, even though I thought they were super cool. It was always just something that my dad was more into until I got on one. Right. But yeah, it's definitely one of those. I want to get another Sportster, actually, just to have to ride around town.
Okay.
Because they're fun little bikes for sure.
Yeah, you kind of throw them around, and a little bit more easier to whip them around than a bagger, so to speak.
Yeah.
So does your dad still ride too? Then
my dad is he's not alive anymore. But,
okay. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no worries. But yeah, no, he couldn't. He went blind when he was I want to say 55. He had a brain aneurysm while he was at work, and then they took him to the hospital and ended up giving him some medicine that he was allergic to.
Oh shit.
Yeah, and it scratched holes in his cornea, so he pretty much went blind and was blind for the rest of his life. So he couldn't ride.
Jesus.
So,
dang.
but when he passed away, I promised him I'd stay riding my Harley. So
there you go.
Yeah.
So now you enjoy, I know we talked, mentioned you went to Sturgis, but you enjoy getting out on those, 2, 3, 4 day trips, load up the bike and hit the road for, adventures.
Oh yeah. Yeah. And like Sturgis was the coolest one just because, like venturing out of state was really fun. And that trip was really cool because I had linked up with, just like you and I had linked up in, I can't remember if it was PNW Harley Riders Group or Pacific Northwest Harley Davidson Motorcycle, whatever, one of those groups. And it was just, hey, anybody going to Sturgis this year? And I linked up with another guy. We met up out at, it's called City Hall, I think, or Town Hall, a little biker bar. Not too far out from here, and we kind of chit chatted a little bit, and then we ended up thinking, well, hey, let's ride out to Sturgis together. And so that was an adventure in itself because I'd just met this dude. We'd ridden together like once just to see if it was kind of our riding styles were a good fit, right? You don't want to commit to like this, long haul ride with someone that, if I'm trying to enjoy the scenery and they're trying to race there, it doesn't work out that well. But
yeah,
I made good friends with him, and we rode. We camped out in Ellensburg. We camped out in Missoula, Montana, after riding over Lolo Pass. And then
Lolo's beautiful.
Yeah, Lolo is really pretty. I don't know if on your way out to Lolo, there's right outside of Lewiston, Idaho, there's a little road. It's about a 7-mile highway called the Old Spiral Highway. That highway is really fun. That little road is a fun one to run.
Yeah, when you go down into the canyon into Lewiston from up top.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you can just hop on Highway 12 and then head out over Lolo. Head over Lolo, and then it drops you right into Lolo, Montana, or you can keep going into Missoula.
Yeah, I did it the other way when I rode it 2 years ago. I went to over to Missoula, and then I cut over Lolo, and I went down to Boise.
Yeah. Yeah. But I've got other stuff that I'd like to do. I mean, I've done lots of rides, like riding out here in Washington. But I'd like to do stuff like ship my bike down to California and ride the whole Route 66, or because I just don't have the time to ride down there and then start at what is it called? The town down there where Route 66 starts. I'm
I
drawing a
can't
blank.
recall.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't remember either, but I'd like to
Yeah.
start there. And I know it ends up in Chicago.
Yeah.
But I just don't have the time to I don't think I'd have the time to ride my bike down there and then ride that route. So I have to ship it, but
Have you gone up and rode the Chuckanut?
I haven't. Where is that?
It parallels I-5. If you go up to Burlington, hang a left on Highway 20, and you go down 6-7 miles, and there'll be a sign that says a Chuckanut. You can hang a right. The best place I found, there's a big four-way intersection on Highway 20, just coming off of Fidalgo Island. In one corner, there's a restaurant called the Farmhouse. If you're heading west down 20, you hang a right there, because it also take you up to a little town of Edison, which is literally two 90-degree corners, and you're out of the town. But that town in Edison has the Longhorn Saloon and Grill. Dude, they make the most amazing barbecue food. In the summertime, I mean, that whole saloon, it's nothing but fucking motorcycles, and you can smell the barbecue before you get in the town. But then you start heading up the Chuckanut. Basically said it runs parallel to I-5, but you're right on Puget Sound. And it's an awesome little fucking scenic route. There's some pull-offs. You'll see, ships anchored out there that are waiting for the refineries and Anacortes, and it takes you up, dumps you up in Fairhaven, just bottom side of Bellingham. And dude, it's an absolute gorgeous ride. It's a lot of fun. It's not, I think the whole Chuckanut Highway might be 30, 40 miles, but it's way better than I-5, and it's a lot of fun.
Huh. Yeah, I'll have to look into it. Look at that, because I like little, especially when you're going to these little spots that motorcycle friendly places. I'll have to look into it.
Yeah, we can do it. Sometime. I know I want to go back up there again. I've rode it 20, 30 times. But, I head up there, May or sometime for shoot you mess on a weekend. We can always meet at the little Farmhouse restaurant on 20, and just me and a couple of buddies. We've ridden it, and a couple years ago, and my son was playing the state baseball tournament for high school in Bellingham. We didn't have a dog sitter for our dogs, so me and the wife, we were just riding the Harley back and forth every day for baseball. Because that time, it was like $6 to hop the Port Townsend ferry, and it was only like $10 in gas round trip. And it's like, well, fuck, we'll just go back and forth every day. And she'd never been on the Chuckanut. The first day I took I-5 up, I'm like, fuck, this sucks. And I forgot. It's like, shit, we're going this way on the way home. And next days, we just take the Chuckanut every day up there. I think it's a little bit quicker, and it's a fun ride. You go through a little bit of farm country, then all of a sudden you break up, you're just riding the bluff right along Puget Sound up there, and it's cool as shit.
Do you have any rides that are kind of like right out your back door that, if you have an hour or two after work or that you hop on?
Well, for me, I'm up here in the peninsula in Port Angeles. I'm a quarter mile from 101, so I can head out west, go out 112 a ways out by Joyce, and there's some cool little pull-offs at Salt Creek or down at Crescent Beach, or you can cruise out to Lake Crescent. There are many pull-offs, and enjoy some scenery out there and come back, or I can head towards Squim, and there's some cool back roads around Squim, down through some of the old farmland and down by the Dungeness Spit. There's a lot of options. If a guy just got, an hour or something, you just want to go for a little 30, 50 mile rip, there's plenty of choices for sure.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I haven't covered like the peninsula too much, but I can imagine. I imagine it's really pretty riding out there.
Yeah. Riding up to Hurricane Ridge in the summertime, once get all the snow melts away, that's a fun ride. It's just expensive as shit. I mean, you got to pay $25 to get in the park for one day, but that
Yeah,
receipt's good for 7 days, or you can get like a year pass for 50. But yeah, riding up to Hurricane Ridge, that's a really cool ride.
yeah. I rode around the Hood Canal once. I know, being from Washington, especially living on the west side, and you'd think it'd be something that I'd hit more often, but I usually just I'm in, like, where I'm at geographically. It's like if I head west, I'm gonna run into a whole bunch of people on the way to where I'm going.
Mm-hmm.
But if I head east, like, I'm in the mountains in 15 minutes.
Nice.
Yeah.
So so it's really hard for me to, unless someone says, no, let's go out west, let's go out this way, then I'm usually headed east.
Oh man, if I live where you did, I mean, you're at the base of the Cascades, and man, there's so many different routes. Like we were talking, you go White's Pass, go all the way over, hit Canyon Road to Ellensburg. You can come back 90, hit Blewett Pass, go up over Stevens, or say fuck it, hit 97, head up to Chelan, Winthrop, Wenatchee. I mean, the options are endless, especially on a weekend. I mean, you're at the foothills of some absolutely amazing riding country with so many options, and literally not hardly touching main interstates at all, doing it all back roads and the fun two lanes.
Yeah. I'm really lucky to be in this area for sure.
So you said you grew up in Central Washington?
Yeah, well, I spent a lot of time I was born in Ellensburg, and spent a lot of time between Ellensburg, Yakima, and Cle Elum.
Mm-hmm.
So
I used to go to Cle Elum a lot when I was younger with the Olympic Peninsula Motorcycle Club, where the dirt track, when I was into dirt bikes for a long time, and we'd always go to Cle Elum every Memorial weekend and ride the slag piles, and as a whole, everybody from the club would load up all the dirt bikes, and off we go over there. And that place was so much fun to ride.
Yeah, Cle Elum's really cool too. I liked living out there. You wake up in the morning, and sometimes I'd have deer grazing in my front yard. So that was really cool to wake up to.
I have that every morning, grazing my backyard.
Do you?
Yeah, my wife's so tired of them eating her plants, and can't even do a garden because they'll clean the garden out as soon as anything blooms.
Yeah.
I
guess if that's what if that's what you want, then maybe it's not such a good thing to have animals grazing in your yard. But
yeah. Well, actually, if I remember right, if over by Cle Elum, you got Roslyn, of course, and you got the Brick, which I think is actually the oldest bar or saloon, however you want to call it, in Washington State.
Yeah, I don't know if it's the oldest.
I think somebody was telling me that just the other day.
I mean, they have, like, I think that I haven't been there in a long time. I've been on this side of the mountains since 2014, but it used to have a running spittoon.
Yeah, right on the floor by your feet.
Yeah, right on the floor. Yeah. And the jail was right downstairs, the old jail. But I haven't been there in a long time.
I'm curious. I'm gonna Google this shit.
Is it the oldest? It could be. Like, it very well could be. The Brick's old, and
it is freaking cool.
Roslyn is an old, like, coal mining town, so it wouldn't surprise me if it were one of the oldest bars in the state, if not the oldest.
Operating since 1889. It's a landmark saloon in Washington.
Yeah.
That's freaking cool.
Interesting. Yeah. So what kind of upgrades have you done to your King?
So all I've done is I did the Fuel Moto RTX 2-in-1 exhaust. That was the first thing I did. And then just recently I upgraded the cam to a Woods 22XE cam.
Nice.
Yeah, and then I upgraded the fuel pump and the cam chest, or the oil pump and the cam chest. So I went with the Fuel Moto's Racing Series, or not Fuel Moto, Fueling's Racing Series oil pump and their cam chest.
Nice.
Yeah. So, and then I did put some KST Customs 14-inch bars on it when I was in Sturgis. Just because I got them installed on site. It took a couple hours, and I want to say out the door it was like maybe $1,500 or maybe even less than that. I think
Nice.
maybe it was only $800. I don't remember. I don't remember how much I paid, but it was cheap.
Okay.
Yeah, they do that when you go into Sturgis. If you go up to Black Hills Harley Davidson, I don't know if you guys have been to Sturgis or not,
Not.
especially during the rally. If you go to Black Hills Harley Davidson, they've got vendors galore. They got Clockworks. There's Custom Dynamics, Vance and Hines. All these major brands are there, and a lot of them do installs on site. If you buy something from them, they'll install it right then and there. So that's what I rode out to Sturgis with the stock bars on the Road King, and I rode home with 14s.
Nice. Why not? More comfortable.
Oh yeah. It puts me like more, like I have straight arms instead of like kind of hunched over. Because those stock bars I think I don't remember if they were 10s or 12s, but yeah, there's definitely a height difference and a comfort level difference.
So, are you running the backrest on your seat?
Only sometimes.
I mean, I imagine if you notice a difference with the taller bars, might put you back a little bit farther where you could really feel it.
Yeah, I'm trying. I can't remember so when I rode home from Sturgis, I just bombed home in one day, and I can't remember if I had the backrest or not. But for the most part, I don't run that like in a lot of the pictures, if you've looked at the ones like of my bike in the Badlands or in Sturgis itself, those I had the at least on the way out there, I had the backrest to just because I knew it was a long haul and I'd want to be able to lean back. But for the most part, I don't ride with the backrest, and I'm still fairly comfortable. Going over, Chinook or Snoqualmie or something. Like I could spend a whole day on it and not need that backrest.
Okay.
So that backrest, I have a backrest, and it's really a junky one. I just ordered it off Amazon.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when I learned that there are certain things that you don't order on Amazon.
Yep.
Yeah. True.
So some stuff is good, right? And it's like, hey, this is cool, it's cheap, but some shit you gotta go to, like, go to the pros.
Yeah, it's you can, yeah, everything in hindsight looks better. It's I've wasted too much money on seats and stuff like that. You buy something, you're like, oh, this will be fine, and then you're like, this sucks.
Yeah.
I like
mine.
I honestly don't ever take mine off. I just leave it on.
Do you?
Yeah, I'm just so used to it, and it's like I just leave it there.
If I bought a quality one, I might leave it on.
Yeah.
Right. But really what it is just it's back there, it's kind of wobbly. And, unless I'm like really leaning back on it, it's actually kind of a nuisance.
Which what seat do you have?
I have a Mustang 2-up seat. But the backrest is like, yeah, it's just an Amazon special.
Oh, gotcha.
So if I went and ordered if I don't know who I would buy the backrest, I could go onto Harley's site and buy a better quality one than what I have.
Yeah, Mustang stuff's nice. That's what I run. I have their backrest. It's fantastic.
Do you?
Yeah, their stuff is really good quality. I was really impressed. I went through 3 seats before I got the Mustang, and I was happy I finally did it.
Yeah, I was the stock Road King seat or stock late model touring seat because it's on the Street Glides. It's on, all those bikes. That bike or that seat's it's comfortable, but when I put that Mustang seat on, it's almost sometimes like you forget there's a seat there, right? Like it's just like I could sit on it all day long. I carry a gel pad, but I almost never use it.
Mm-hmm.
And I carry it just because from those days of riding the Sportster and trying to take that long distance riding, it was like your ass was hurting. And now I have this huge fear of having a sore ass. So I do everything I can to make sure that I don't have a sore ass.
That's fair. I can totally understand that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially if you're riding all day, man, being comfortable is a very huge part.
Yeah. Yeah. So now with the Mustang seat, it did move me forward a couple inches, but I'm fine with it. Like it's like I can sit on that seat all day, and I got my highway pegs. So if I, between that seat, the highway pegs, and the taller bars, like I can just, it's easy to kick back and relax on it.
Yeah.
Well, that's a big thing. I get a bike show. You make it comfortable to fit your riding style, your physique, and you get it dialed into where you want it and that comfort. And it's like, fuck it, just ride and enjoy it. And because you've set it up to how you ride and your style and what fits you, and there you go.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people overlook that too. A lot of people think, oh, I bought a bike, I want to buy performance. Buy fit first. It just pays off.
Yeah.
You want to be comfortable, especially if you're going to put down big miles.
Yeah. One of the things, like for example, one of the things that I really don't like is my windshield, right? I just think it looks ridiculous. But without it, it makes riding longer distances a lot harder.
Yeah.
And so I will sacrifice looking cool to be comfortable, because at the end of the day, it's me on that bike all day long.
Oh, yeah.
The people that you pass by, they probably don't even notice, right? So so like the windshield, as dorky as it looks, I never take it off.
And it's amazing the difference they make. Like you said, I mean, I remember when I used to have a Suzuki Boulevard, and he said, "Hey, I'm going to pop the windshield off and go for a ride. Check it out." Shit. I was like home in 20 minutes, like, fuck this.
Yeah.
I mean, your body takes a beating. And, I had a buddy of mine, he went on a long ride with us on a Triumph, and he had no windshield. He's like, holy shit. He was like, no way.
Yeah. Yeah. Those are painful ones. I went through it. I was trying to be a touring guy on my Sportster, and that didn't have a windshield. I didn't have a fairing. I didn't have anything. And when you ride, or at least when I ride, after a long, like a full day of riding, by the end, if I sit down, I could fall asleep because I'm so exhausted from just the wind, the noise, and just riding all day long. And that's even with my windshield, right? So just imagine without the windshield, just you get exhausted.
Oh yeah. Your body, I mean, your chest and your torso, you're physically you're fighting everything, and it takes your energy.
Yeah.
I mean, your body's got to consume energy, whatnot, just to keep you going, because you're physically taking a beating from the wind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That neck bobble alone will wear you out.
Oh yeah. Yeah. And I even think I should, I almost want to get a slightly taller windshield, because I can feel the air like on the top of my head. And so if I'm sitting in the right position, my head is bouncing back and forth from that wind.
Oof. Yeah, that's not good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, when I kick back and get comfortable, it stops, but So maybe a taller windshield. I don't know. I could
All
keep,
that stuff's hard. You gotta get it to fit you perfectly, but when it does, it pays off for sure.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I could keep throwing money at this, and I'll probably keep throwing money at my bike, and just like I don't know what I'm gonna do next. I think I'm probably done with performance. But I'd like to do some, maybe put some lower fairings on. I'd like to get a tour pack that I can take on and off. Shit like that.
Yeah, the tour pack is so nice, especially for going distance. Having that extra room, throw your shit in there, you can close it, lock it, and I mean, I got mine's on quick connect, so I can pop it on and off. But honestly, I don't ever take it off. I've had it on it since I've had it, and if I go and take the tour pack off, I look at my bike, it's like fucking thing. I think it looks retarded. I'm like, I'm just not used to how it looks. It's like, fuck this. I leave it on. That's just me,
Yeah.
though.
I'd like a tour pack. I told myself, so I almost traded my Road King in for Road Glide, but I decided not to. Just because I would end up being upside down, and I didn't want to do all that. I said, I'm going to pay this off. And so that's when I started doing all the performance stuff. But I sure would like, especially because I'm working on, like, I took a lot of footage of my ride out to Sturgis, and I wanted to put together a cool YouTube channel or YouTube video of that ride. But the tour pack would be nice to have to keep all that camera stuff in, right? Yeah. One thing that happened on the way out to Sturgis was I had some electronics were on the outside of the bike, and I got caught in a pretty nasty hailstorm. And once that happened, like I had my little solar charger here, for example, I used to try and keep my shit charged on the road. It stopped working after that storm. So it would be nice to, if there's electronics and stuff that you really want to keep dry, to have that extra storage, because the saddlebags, they fill up quick.
Yeah. Oh, you get the tour pack, then you wire in a cigarette lighter plug inside of it, so you can plug in and have shit charging if you need to inside the tour pack.
Yeah, see, and I have an outlet installed in my saddlebag, and that's what I ended up having to do, is plug that thing in to charge that thing. And then at the end of the day, that's when I could charge my phone and my GoPros and all of that. So I learned a lot of lessons in trying to moto vlog last year. So maybe Sturgis 2022, I'll have a pretty neat video to put together. I'm still in the process of editing the one I'm from 2021, but 2022 will be much better.
It takes a lot of fucking work to editing. I mean, Bride knows way more than I do. I mean, last year I did I think I had 70 minutes of footage from a toy run, and you cut that down to like 10 minutes. It's like, shit, I spent 8 or 9 hours on that, and that was just a tiny little video. It's like, fuck.
Yeah, I
do an install video. You won't worry about vlogging anymore. You'll realize that that's easy.
An install, yeah.
Do an install video, and you're like, there's 12 hours of my life I'm never getting back for what would it took 10 minutes if I wasn't filming.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I saw some, because I follow some other YouTubers, right? Like the 2 Lane Life guys and Ryan Urlacher out of Yakima, and they put together they make it look so easy. And I'm like, hey, wouldn't it be cool if I could do that? And I tried it, and I fucking sucked at it. So
the Ryan Urlacher's, his documentary films on their big trips are fucking amazing.
Yeah, they're really good. There's another guy, his name's Full Throttle Hog.
He's awesome.
Yeah, he does a really good job, because he has a passion for photography and rides motorcycles. So he does a really he did like a Sturgis Doesn't Care video. It was an 8-minute short film, but it was amazing the way he put that together.
He did an amazing job with that video. That video just blew up when it came out too.
Yeah. Yeah, he did. Yeah. And so just following, and I probably shouldn't have watched any of those because now it's like I don't, really want to put mine out there, but I eventually will. I've got 6 hours of riding, just getting to Sturgis that I'm trying to narrow down to like, maybe 10 or 20 minutes. And because I was on the ride, I thought every moment of it was beautiful, and I'm like, all of this needs to be in this film, but
Yeah.
there's no, you can't do that because nobody's gonna sit there and watch 6 hours of life behind my bars, right?
But you're right. I mean, riding through Montana is fucking gorgeous.
Yeah,
It is
Montana's. Yeah, there's a right off of I-90. So after we left Missoula, we hit I-90 for a little bit, but there's a Montana, like a state highway 1 or a scenic ride. That was fucking gorgeous. And so if you're ever in Montana and you can hit that, I definitely would. And the cool thing about some of those roads through Montana, the speed limit's like 70 miles an hour, 70 or 80 miles an hour in some of these wide open areas, and you could just fucking fly down those roads. And that was probably my buddy Kyle that rode to Sturgis with me last year. He said that was his favorite part because we were like the only two on the road, and it was almost like there was no speed limit, and you could go. And it was like field on each side in parts, so like you didn't, you could see if there was a big moose or not. It wasn't like we had to worry about an animal running out from behind the trees into the middle of the road like you face, going over Snoqualmie or something like that, right?
But that's the one thing you got to watch, especially nighttime, is moose are the only ones in the deer family where their eyes do not reflect headlights.
Yeah, so yeah, I did when I rode home from Sturgis. That was one thing that I was kind of worried about because it was dark when I left. And if you are right on the freeways in South Dakota, like every so often you would see huge blood stains on the moose in the side chat. You would see huge blood stains from like just animal kill on the freeway.
Yeah.
So that was definitely on my mind on the way home. But
so when you guys were in Missoula, did you go down to Grizzly?
we didn't.
You actually got a Grizzly Harley Davidson right there off the interstate in Missoula. It's a fucking cool ass dealership.
Yeah, we passed a couple dealerships on the way there, and probably should have stopped, but we were excited to get to Sturgis.
Yeah.
And I knew that if I went into a Harley dealer, I was going to spend money on a Harley shirt, and I had already had plans on buying shit while I was in Sturgis. So I was trying to not load up on too much merch. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, you got to have room to bring it back.
yeah.
Or mail it to yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, they got, if you go to like at the Black Hills Harley Davidson, I believe UPS has a booth there so that when you buy shit, you can, and if you want to keep your old bars or your old wheels or something, you can ship them to your house.
Hey, that's actually smart though.
Yeah. Yeah. Otherwise, there's a boneyard. Like there's all the vendors, they have like a whole bunch of wood crates full of old people's motorcycle parts that they didn't keep. You can either ship them back or the vendors will dispose of them for you.
It's time for some Elysian.
There you go.
Oh yeah.
Doesn't sound like you had a rough birthday, buddy.
Oh, dude, I had a headache till about an hour and a half ago that did not want to stop. But no, it was a good time. I haven't drank that much beer in a long time.
You waited too long. You waited too long to start drinking again.
I waited too long to drink like that. I mean, but there's a reason why I don't drink like that anymore. I was good when I was in my younger days. I'm not so young anymore.
Yeah, I don't drink at all. I just can't. I can't hang. I like to wake up early in the mornings and feel like just, there's something about, because I used to drink, I'd get off work and drink a 6-pack every day, and it just, after time, you start to feel really unhealthy. And
Yeah.
and then eventually I was like, I don't drink at all. It's just a, just a choice to
No,
not
ain't
drink.
nothing wrong with it. I mean, a lot of times during the week, I don't hardly touch much just because. I mean, I like you. I mean, I go to bed early, and I'm up. When most people are still sleeping. I mean, I'm up 2:30 to go to work, but I'm a commercial truck driver, so you got to watch yourself. So it's not worth it for me during the week, just because I
Yeah.
want to get up early and feel good, and I spend hours upon hours driving. So yeah,
Yeah. I don't get up till 4, but so hats off to you for getting off at 2:30 in the morning. You must
yeah.
got to go to bed at like 6:30, 7
Uh,
o'clock.
I try to be in bed by 8, no later than 8:30. And the funny thing, so I can feel the difference if I go to bed at 9 o'clock, like on a Wednesday, dude. I am shot Thursday. Even that day, it's like you feel
Yeah.
like shit, and then Friday, it's like you're still trying to catch up. It's like, damn it,
Yeah.
when I got to go to bed, but still, it's like you're something going on or something really cool you want to watch, or just having a good evening. It's like, oh fuck it, I'll what's another half hour? Shit, it's a bad idea.
So
But
you,
you know.
so do you have any plans for any big rides this summer?
Yeah, in June, into June, I'm riding over to Rapid City. We'll be leaving. I'll be leaving the 23rd of June and riding over to Rapid City for the start of the 22 Hoka Hey. Go meet a bunch of guys I've had on the podcast and hang out with them. I guess there's a lot of activities going on 2 to 3 days prior to the event leaving, which will start on Sunday. I think it's 8 a.m. There's all kinds of activities going. Vendors are supposed to be there and whatnot. So I got a couple guys that think that are going to ride over there. It might be 2, 3 of us, and we're going to head over there, hang out for the week, and get meet a bunch of people, have fun, and then once they all depart Sunday morning, then we'll depart and head back here.
There you go.
And I think
Are you gonna?
the weekend before that, I know me and a couple other guys, and well, not just guys, other riders are working on a Pacific Northwest kind of a moto vlogger style meetup in Packwood on the 18th of June on a Saturday.
There you go. In June.
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
June 18th down in Packwood.
You gonna do? You thinking about put any thought into doing the Mount St. Helens run?
Is that in May?
Yes.
I was thinking about it, but I think that's the same weekend I'm going to be in Idaho.
Oh, okay. Well, then you're not gonna go if you're in Idaho.
Yeah, because I think that was. I got to look at my count. What, the 13th or 14th of May? I know it's on a Saturday, and we're going for my wife's birthday, taking all her family, and we're staying over at Lake Coeur d'Alene. We got a vacation rental in like Harrison or somewhere, so we're going to go stay over there for 4 or 5 days and just get a little getaway.
There you go. Yeah, I did that Mount St. Helens run. I showed up late, and it probably was good that I was late because um riding in big huge groups of people is not exciting to me.
Yeah.
So I showed up late. So the ride up to Mount St. Helens, there was lots of folks on their way back, and there were some still straggling on their way up. It was a really nice day.
Yeah,
So I think
that's
we just worked out that day.
May 15th. Yeah, I'll be in Idaho.
That's when it is, May 15th.
Yeah.
Well,
Yep.
you'll be missed.
Yeah. But I want to do, I want to get out, do some other I love doing the Cascade loops. I mean, you can pick which one you want to take, and I'm planning on doing a few of those, meeting up with some of the guys. Probably, be fun. Give you a call and see if we meet up for one and go.
Oh yeah,
I love riding Canyon Road. Head up over, even if a guy just wants to take Snoqualmie to Ellensburg and then go hit Canyon Road down to Natchez and come back over, Whites or Chinook, whichever way you want to go. But Canyon Road was so much fun. That restaurant down there is not bad. It's not so much my style of a little restaurant and hotel area, but they do got some good food.
So it's weird because I used to drive up and down that Canyon Road every day, and I've never stopped there ever, and I've had every intention to, but I just never have. But yeah, the Canyon Road is fun. It's fun it's fun for all, right? If you like the scenery, you want to take it slow, go 45 miles an hour, then it's fun. If you want to go rip, because there's some nice curves in that one too.
There is. I mean, you're riding, right along the Yakima River, and there's plenty of pull outs. You got, hell, sometimes, I mean, you get over there in the summertime, it's hot as shit over there. Go dip your melon in the water and cool off, and everybody's floating the river, and it's a cool place.
Yeah. There's a spot, Smiley Rock. We used to stop and jump off. You'd be floating down the river, but if you're not a very good swimmer, I wouldn't recommend trying it, just because there are people that there's some pretty strong undertow in that portion of the river. I mean, really all the way up and down the Yakima River where people are floating. There's some areas of really strong undertow. So if you're not a good swimmer, I wouldn't suggest getting in that water, but
yeah, and cold.
Yeah, it is. It's one of those water types when you jump in, it takes your breath away. That's for sure.
Well, that's kind of like Lake Crescent out here on the peninsula. It's right off the glaciers. I mean, it might be, feel good on the very top until you get 6 inches down and it's cold as shit.
Yeah. The kind of water you want to jump in, late July, early August.
I don't know if I do it then.
Yeah.
So you have any plans besides Sturgis that you want to do this year?
Sturgis is really the big one. And I'm going to go again. I'm going to go to Sturgis the next 2 years in a row. And then I might change it up and do like Daytona, because I've heard that Sturgis will ruin Daytona for you, but I'd still like to ride down there and just have something to add to my, my collection of stuff that I've done on my bike. So
the other one that I've heard is pretty cool that I haven't gone to check out is the Pendleton Bike Week in Oregon. They have I think it's actually, they call it Pendleton Bike Week, but I think it's a Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, a 4-day deal. And I guess it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I've got a friend that, just the face. I've never met him in person, but he's also part of those, the Northwest Harley groups. I'd ask him. I'll ask him because he might know, that might be one that he goes to. He builds custom trikes. Real good dude. His name's Jim. So I'll have to hit him up.
There you go. But yeah, there's some hoping for a good summer, good weather, and hopefully maybe these fucking gas prices will go the other way.
Yeah. It's I really hate that the gas prices are the way they are. Fortunately, we ride motorcycles, and if it's a $20 tank, then fuck it, it's still going to be a good time, right?
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So, now I'm just looking at silver linings. Now I got more of a reason to ride my bike, I guess. I mean, I don't like riding. I don't ride to work or any of that because riding on the freeway or, getting on the I-5 parking lot's not fun.
No shit.
And I'll ride down the shoulder of the road, but you still get assholes that'll, they'll try to block you.
Yeah.
Just because they're, self-proclaimed law enforcers or, whatever it is that, I don't know.
Yep. Yeah. Also use my, there ain't nothing better than riding a bike. Shit, I know a lot of times it's like I got to go do a grocery run. It's like I can fit a lot of fucking groceries in my road glide.
Yeah.
Between the saddlebags, tour pack, the other bags, so fuck, I got plenty of room.
See, I'd go get tacos and stuff on my bike, but I don't have that tour pack, right? So can't go get pizza.
Nothing you can't fix.
Yeah. That's
Tour
what
pack's a game changer.
Yeah, I really want to go with I have a tea bag that goes on my luggage rack and stuff, but I still think a tour pack would certainly serve me better than the tea bag would. And
yeah.
So,
well, especially like the incident you had where stuff getting wet in the hailstorm, that tour pack, it's, that personally for me, that was the biggest thing when, before I got my road line was shopping, was I wanted hard bags just for those type of instances where, you get caught in shitty weather when you're touring, you're off on a multi-day bike trip, you're bound to find a bad stretch of weather, and knowing that your shit's dry is just, was a big deal to me.
Yeah. I said after that time, I said, I'm never listening to someone tell me that it's not going to rain again, because my wife and we were in Hawaii and we hiked up this trail and we were with the tour guide, and I'm looking off in the distance and I'm like, hey man, it looks like it's getting ready to rain on us, like really hard. He's like, oh no, it's not going to hit us. I'm like, are you sure, man? Like, I see rain almost every day. Like, I know what it looks like when it's about to rain. And he assured us, but no, on our way down, it was a torrential downpour. Like, our trail turned into a fucking river. And so that was an instance where I listened to someone and we got soaked. And then when we were leaving Yellowstone on our motorcycles, I told my friend, I said, hey, it's getting ready to rain. He's like, nah, we're good. I'm like, okay. And here we get into it, and it starts very quickly. Like it's rain, and then all of a sudden hail, like it's just hurting to ride. So we had to pull over and go fucking hide under a tree. That's what I did. And that's that's just one of those things. If I think it's gonna rain, I'll put on my rain gear from now on.
Oh, riding in hail isn't no joke, and it's crazy even how loud it is in your helmet. And man, I had to do it once. I got caught in a hailstorm in a half helmet. Fuck, riding down the freaking road with my arm over my face, and yeah, it can be brutal.
Yeah, it hurt, and we weren't the only ones that had that idea, because there were, we were coming out of Yellowstone, and that's pro tip. If you're on your way to Sturgis, fucking skip Yellowstone altogether. But there were a whole bunch of other motorcycles on their way there, and they also had they also stopped and booked it under a tree, because it was, that hail was, and it was, it wasn't small hail. It was, nice little pellets.
Oh, hail ain't nothing to fuck with. That shit hurts.
Yeah. Yeah. So, but yeah. That Yellowstone weather was just it's exactly what you would think, right? Like they say, if you're in Wyoming and South Dakota and the weather can change really quickly. That's not a joke.
Well, I think, we get that a lot out here too. I mean, it can be sun shining and you're clean and you go inside. Well, for instance, this morning, it was great, beautiful weather. I go up to, wash my truck at work, doing stuff. The wife goes to the store and she comes out and it was blue skies when she went in the store and come out and it's pouring fucking rain. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, when I sent you the video, I had the bike out running. I was gonna go for a ride, but it started raining, so I didn't end up going out because I am a fair weathered rider. I don't give a shit what anybody says. I don't voluntarily leave my house when it's dumping rain to go ride.
Yeah, I agree.
I go ride when it's nice out, and if I happen to get caught in the weather, I'll it sucks, but it's not. I'm definitely a fair weathered rider.
Yeah. If I don't have to ride in the rain, I don't want to.
Yeah, no doubt about that. If you get caught in a storm and you got to push through, that's one thing. But otherwise, I'm not riding.
Yeah, it's one thing when you're out there on, you're traveling, you're on the road. It's bound to happen where you're gonna run into some shit. But yeah, if you're like, you're at home, I want to go for a ride. Look outside and it's fucking black and looks like shit. I'm like, yeah, fuck a bunch of that.
Yeah. That's why it's the wintertime sucks. Bike just sitting there, usually not riding. But if there is if there is a nice day, I will get it out. I don't care about the cold. I've got the gear to deal with riding in cold weather. That's fine. 30 degrees, I don't give a shit. If it's dry and sunny, I'm riding.
Hell yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So
otherwise you can sit there and look at the bike as it lives that battery tender life.
Yeah.
It was cold today, but I was out for a little bit. It was nice.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
It's been
I almost want to get heated gear, but what's that?
So it was a long ass winter. Heated gear's a game changer. It seems like a lot of money when you go and you spend it, but it's absolutely worth it.
Well, now there's so many companies that make different styles where, you could almost say the market is being flooded with it because everybody's making some sort of a heated vest or coat, and batteries are getting smaller if you want. Some of them are running different batteries or plug them in, and you definitely have a lot of options now as composed to 2 years ago.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, when I was riding home from Sturgis last year, I had I thought I was bundled up well enough, but I was still fucking cold on the way home early in the morning, and it was August. And that's when having heated, because I didn't bring anything else. When you're packing on your motorcycle, I thought I'd packed enough to keep me warm, but and I was warm the whole time until on the way home. But if I had a heated gear that I could just throw and keep in the bags, and then if I felt cold, put it on, or swap out the leathers or whatever, plug it in and keep chugging all day long.
I got a buddy. He went and bought one of the Milwaukee heated vests. It's got a little plug-in, and I think it runs off a small little fucking battery. You just hit the button. He goes, "This thing's fucking amazing." It was like $60 or some shit at Home Depot. He fucking loves it.
For what was it?
It's a Milwaukee heated vest. Milwaukee Tools makes heated vests now. You can get them at Home Depot.
$60, huh?
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, you can get some. I think Kimimoto and a couple of those companies make cheaper ones. They don't plug into the bike, but if you're not going to use it all the time, I got my first one on sale. I have field shear gear, and I think it was like, I don't know, $140, but it's so worth it. Because if you just wear the vest, you don't get as bulky, then you stay just as warm. The jacket's nicer, but it's all relative to comfort too. Yeah,
well, I mean, I can handle, it's just when the core of my body is cold, that's when it sucks. Right? That's when it's you have a lot less fun. Or at least
that and cold fucking fingers. I hate when my hands get cold. Fucking hate it.
Yeah. So fortunately for me, it wasn't that cold to where my hands were getting cold. It was just the sun wasn't up yet. I mean, it was, but it was at my back, and it was cold.
Yeah, getting cold sucks. It's no fun. So you rode from Sturgis back to Auburn in one day?
Yep, I did.
That's a fucking haul.
How far was that?
1,163 miles. So
Nice.
yeah, it was just I'd had enough of Sturgis and I was ready to roll home, and I had originally planned on I'd really planned on spending just a couple days. I was gonna try to make it. I thought I was gonna make it to like Spokane, and maybe just get a hotel in Spokane and then do the last 4-hour stretch or whatever it ended up being the next day. But I was like, fuck it, I want to try it in one day. So I woke up really early. Like people were still at the campground partying and like ready for and I hopped on the bike and rolled out, and really only stopped to get fill up gas and grab something to drink, and I had lunch, and that was it. And yeah, I left at like I can't remember if it was 3:45 or 4:45, left Sturgis, and then I got to Ellensburg, hung out there at a friend's house for about an hour, and then got back into Auburn at 11:30 at night.
Damn.
So yeah. So I followed a semi truck the last leg of the trip as long as he would let me. He didn't like me behind him very well, but I figured I'd rather that semi truck cream a deer than me.
Yeah.
And he probably didn't know what I was doing. He just thought it was just some fucking weird dude on a motorcycle tailing his truck. So, but I eventually passed him. But he kept me safe. He kept me safe for a while. He doesn't know that he kept me safe, but he did.
Oh, there you go. Get a little bit of a windbreak, kind of. Draft him.
Yeah. So if any of you out there drive truck and you get a motorcyclist riding right behind you, they're just trying to avoid running into an animal. So
that's funny.
Yeah. I mean, I wasn't like right behind him. I gave him some distance, right? I mean, he knew I gave him enough distance so he could tell I was back there. I could understand him being nervous you would know, you're a truck driver. I could understand him being nervous about not knowing where I was. Right.
Yeah.
So I don't know. But yeah, that was an interesting ride. I met a couple people on the way. One guy helped me out with an energy drink because I stopped out in I don't even know what town it was, but I needed gas. And I stopped at this hokey little gas station somewhere in, I can't remember if it was Wyoming or Montana, but they didn't sell energy drinks. And I was fighting to stay awake. And it was only like, I want to say it was between 9:30 and 11:30 in the morning. But I never realized that you would have to fight to stay awake on a motorcycle. I always thought it would be easy, but yeah, I was fighting to stay awake. I stopped in looking. They didn't sell energy drinks, and I met some nice dude from the South. He had like a thick Southern accent and everything, and he gave me an energy drink and wished me luck. He was a nice guy, but
Nice.
yeah. And I kept leapfrogging people. As a matter of fact, I passed my old guidance counselor from high school somewhere in Montana on the way home. Yeah, it was kind of a trip to see him on the road, but
that's funny.
Yeah, him and his wife were out camping. I don't know where they were, but they were driving a Subaru and they had a little scamp trailer.
Oh yeah, those things are getting super popular again.
Yeah, I knew it was them when I saw their setup rolling down the road. And I was like, no fucking way. Like, what are the odds? You run into someone from your hometown that you don't even live there anymore. All right, you run into someone on your hometown on the freeway in Montana. I just thought that was wild.
Yeah. Small world.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. But I have lots more riding plans. I'm always in, if you guys get some of these rides going in the summertime, definitely hit me up. Like I'm in.
Oh yeah, definitely got to get together because I know like Michael Nielsen, he's no Two Wheels to Survive. He's down in the Tumwater area. He likes to come up this way. We'll meet up with him, but yeah, it'd be fun. Hook up somewhere, like shit. Head up for the Chuckanut or do Skagit Valley Loops are really cool. One up by Cedar Wooling, Burlington. It goes up through Oso by the big landslide, and there's
Oh yeah.
Memorial, and there's some cool scenic loops in different areas throughout the state that are. I got a cool map. I can't remember the name of it. Mad Maps, and there's 14 or 16 scenic loops in Washington, and they even highlight little places to stop and eat and shit. The map's made on that waterproof paper, supposed to be tear resistant and everything. But I've taken a few of the loops that are on that map. They're pretty fucking awesome. They even give you points for stopping for gas or cool places to eat, scenic places, and yeah, I mean and then at the bottom it gives you complete directions how to do all the scenic loops. You just look down, okay, number 6, and all the directions you need are on the bottom, and it's a sweet little deal.
Sounds
fun.
Yeah, I took my daughter. It was 2 years ago. I went and picked her up because she lives up by Everett, and it was like a Monday or Tuesday, Wednesday. Say, hey, Dad, the weather's going to be nice this weekend. She goes, we should go for a ride. I'm like, all right, don't tell me twice. So I, rode up there on a Saturday, picked her up, and took her up did the Skagit Valley Loop. But then we detoured up, and I took her up to Diablo because she'd never been there. Went up to the Overlook like you were talking about because I've done, North Cascades. And she's never been there, so it's be cool. And so we did the loop and then a little detour up to Diablo so she could see that. And I mean, it was amazing weather that day. Took a little bit of snack, so had a good fun day riding with my daughter, and it was awesome.
Yeah.
Gotta love that.
Sounds fun. The beard.
Oh yeah.
The beard.
The beard follows trucks. I followed the beard. The Baggers and Brews. Is that the same? That's the same guy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually got their sticker hanging up here on the old sticker board, plus they're on the beer fridge now, and in the my tour pack is damn near all fucking covered. I'm starting to overlap all my stickers. I made a whole sticker wall on my tour pack, and oh yeah, I'm a sticker guy.
So I need to get my video of my Sturgis ride on YouTube so I can get Baggers and Brews and Professional Monkey and all those other folks to send me some stickers, right? Is that what I got to do?
Afterwards, man, text me your address. I'll send you some stickers.
Yeah. I'm seeing some of these folks that I follow on YouTube that's pretty cool that you guys like I listened to the podcast where you had Professional Monkey.
He's super cool.
Yeah. I don't know how he does it. Like he does a video like every day. I mean, he doesn't really leave his garage when he does his videos, but like he's always got some content. It's like, how do these folks come up with this content and not run out, right?
Yeah.
I mean, especially if you're doing a daily video, right?
Last week's podcast was a lot of fun too, though, with Brian Clock. That was fucking awesome.
Yeah, I'll have to listen to that. I haven't heard that one, but I did watch him do the 2 Lane Life guys. They met with Brian Clock in Sturgis, and he sounds like a pretty charismatic person. So I've had,
Yeah, it was super cool to get to talk to him and, kind of hear his story and everything, man. It was awesome. I know I'm going to try to go check out his shop because they're in Mitchell, which I think is like an hour and a half east of Rapid City. So when I go over there in June, I want to go down to Clockworks and check it out.
Yeah, they're right there in South Dakota, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's cool.
He seems like a cool guy. Well, he's a cool guy, but it'd be really cool to talk to him.
Yeah.
Oh, DeBeard says send you his address and Instagram Messenger. I'll hook you up.
Yeah, same with Michael Bike. I'll have to hook up with Michael Bike. We'll swap some stickers.
Uh-oh. Mrs. Monkey's in the house. Hey, girl.
No, hey, we were just talking about her husband.
Yeah, she's going to be on here 2 weeks. I think it is.
Right on.
Heck yeah, we can hear the story of Miss Monkey, and that'll be awesome.
Yeah, we need to get the dirt.
That's my new TV, right? I don't watch TV at all. I pretty much just follow all the shit watch all the content that these folks put on YouTube. That's my new TV.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, there's
unless
so much stuff, and it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I really don't watch any TV. I watch the Seahawks when they play, and that's really it. Otherwise there's no TV for me. It's all YouTube.
Nothing wrong with that.
Plus, I mean, Miss Monkey shared a picture of her grandmother in Cuba next to a motorcycle, and I want to hear about that story. I want to hear about that picture, and obviously motorcycles have kind of been a part of her family. It'll be awesome to hear her story and share it. I'm excited. It's gonna be fun.
She's been on a few of Professional Monkeys videos, and I think she does a really good job behind the camera. I'm a super like introverted kind of person, so like this, like even doing this right now is it's like really big for me, like a huge step. So
no, it's been a lot of fun, man. Thanks for coming on and shooting the shit, and thanks, kind of the cool part of how we met of you sharing the freaking podcast, and all of a sudden everybody started tagging me on the PNW Harley page. Like, holy shit, this is fucking unreal.
Yeah. Well, it's like, cause I sit in an office and I'm behind a desk. I'm like, all day long, and I can listen to music, but sometimes I just need to have I don't want to listen to music all the time. And sometimes I want to listen to people talk about fucking motorcycles, right?
Yeah.
So it was just kind of cool to be like, hey, there's this podcast where all they do is talk about motorcycles. And I even said hey, I want to hear a podcast if it's it would be even cooler if it was about Harley Davidson, but it doesn't have to be Harley Davidson based. Because, I like all motorcycles, except for crotch rockets. I'm not a big fan of those. But yeah, it was really cool to see, because I thought it was a stretch, right? I thought nobody does this, and then here you are, right? So
yeah,
so it was definitely a win.
It's a lot of fun, I love hearing other people's stories of, kind of, where it started for them, how they got it in their blood, and then hearing stories, where they've been, travels, and it's like I've said, everybody kind of wants to build that bucket list of places they want to be. Well, hey, like your trip to Sturgis, little pointers, fuck Yellowstone and some other shit. I mean, it's just cool to hear that. And then, people paint a picture. Okay, maybe I want to divert from that, but just being able to hear the stories and share them, because, now they're essentially here forever.
Yeah. Yellowstone. It would be cool if your plan was to stay in Yellowstone for a day or something. But I got stuck in traffic the whole time we were there. We went there to go see Old Faithful. I wanted to see an eruption. Then we were going to be on our way, hit Beartooth Pass. But we ended up stuck behind, because it's only 2 lanes. At least we're on the way to Old Faithful. It's only 2 lanes. And then you get someone that stops because they're waiting for a parking spot. And then it backs up. And there's no real way around it. So yeah, if you don't plan on spending some time and hanging out in Yellowstone, if you're on your way to Sturgis from Washington State or whatever, you're taking the same route I went, I would skip Yellowstone. Just a personal thing.
Yeah. So, well, shit, man, this has been a lot of fun.
Yeah, for sure. We'll have to. I'll have to go through, and I'm terrible at multitasking, so I haven't really read any of these comments, but I will.
Well, anything by Droop and Moose, just ignore. They're kind of mean,
but well, I know because I'll have to find. I think is the Beard said to send him. I'm going to hold him too. I want them stickers.
Just be careful he doesn't send you any naked selfies or anything.
Yeah, that and
the beard. You gotta be
and
careful.
Mike will bike. He'll send you some too. He said send him a message.
All right. Very good.
Right on, Nate. Well, hey man, thanks for coming on and shooting the shit, talking bikes, man.
Yeah, thanks for having me on, and I'll look forward to listening to some more. And for sure, this summer, let's hook up and go out on some rides for sure.
Absolutely,
sweet.
It's always a lot of fun. So, guys, don't forget next Sunday, the one and only Miss Monkey is going to be on.
We're not worthy.
Story of how she became fond of life on two wheels and hear the whole story. It's going to be fun. I'm freaking excited. I know that. I'm always excited. I mean, hearing anybody's stories, how everybody got into it, the passion, we all enjoy it. It's fun. So it's going to be good. So next Sunday, guys, 5:00 West Coast time. Nate, hey, thanks a lot for coming on, buddy. It's been a lot of fun. Bri, we always have fun.
You bet.
So, hey, guys, man, thanks for tuning in. Have fun, ride safe. We'll see you guys on the open road.
See yous.
Thanks. See ya.